everyone. Welcome to another awesome cooking and baking video here on my personal Facebook page and my YouTube channel. I'm your host, Chef Alex Cardinale, and I hope you are having a great Friday evening and are ready for an exciting weekend. I'm going to have to come up with an exciting name for all of my cooking and baking shows that I'm going to be doing here on my video podcast and my YouTube channel. But I'll think of a great name and it will be very interesting. Anyway, before I start today's video, I would like to say thank you to everyone who is watching this video right now, whether you're catching this live or you're watching the replay of today's video. Your view is very important. I hope you enjoy this video, and I hope you have a great weekend. So if you are watching this video and you do enjoy it, please make sure to share this video with your friends, share it with your family, share it on social media. And if you're watching on YouTube, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. So today, I, Chef Alex, am going to be doing my second reaction video. A few weeks ago, I reacted to other people's Italian cooking. Now, like I said in that video, if there's anyone that knows Italian cooking, it's me. I am Italian. I love Italian food. I love Italian cuisine. And a lot of the cooking that I do is Italian food and Italian cooking. But today, my friends and I figured another great reaction video would be baking and desserts. Why? Well, I have a sweet tooth. I love desserts. And most importantly, I love baking. I love making cakes, cookies, breads, cheesecakes, etc. I love being able to get into the kitchen and whip up some amazing desserts and create some sugar. Desserts and pastries and cakes and cookies and stuff like that are one of my favorite food categories. Now, when I was in culinary arts, I studied pastries and baking, and I really enjoyed it. So, who better than me to react to some baking videos? So today I am going to react to 8 baking videos that my friends have hand-picked. I don't know which videos they are or from whose YouTube channel they are, but I know what videos they are on. I know what they are baking in the video. I just don't know which YouTube channel it is from. So my friend is working the studio tonight, so he will be playing all the videos, and I will just give my reaction right after I see the videos. So like I said, my friends have handpicked all of the baking videos featured in today's video. I just know that today I will be reacting to a red velvet cake video, a bread pudding video, a chocolate chip cookie video, a strawberry cheesecake video, and a couple of others that I forgot about. But these are going to be really authentic and good reactions that I'm going to give you from the videos. So, like always, if you're watching live or if you're watching the replay, share your thoughts in the comments below on the baking videos shown in today's video. Will you agree or disagree with my reactions? The comment section is open for you to share your opinion on the baking video shown in today's video. What's your reaction? Let us know in the comments. I think it will be great to see your reaction. Now, before we begin, I'm going to do something that I've never done on one of my live video podcasts before. At the end of the video, I have something very special planned for you. So if you're tuning in now, or if you've been tuned in since the beginning, make sure to stay tuned to this video all the way to the end of the video. Why? Well, I have a major announcement that I am going to share with all of you. So make sure to stay tuned all the way to the end of the video for a major announcement about Chef Alex's return to the kitchen live here on Facebook and YouTube. That's right. Tonight, I'm going to share the exclusive news with you about when I, Chef Alex Cardinale, will be returning to the kitchen and when I will do my first live baking video and my first live cooking video. That will be told at the end of the video. So I know you're looking forward to that announcement, but I'll give it at the end. Right now, it's time to get right into our reactions. I've got 8 videos that I am going to react to. So I'm going to hand this video over to my friend. Now it's time to start playing those videos. So here we go, folks. My reaction to the first video, which I believe is the red velvet cake, coming up right after this, folks.
Oh, yes!
Wow, that red velvet cake looks absolutely delicious. Now, one of my personal favorite desserts in America is a delicious, moist, creamy red velvet cake, and I can tell you that looks delicious, moist, and creamy. The best way to serve a red velvet cake is with homemade cream cheese frosting, and I can tell you from that video with that homemade cream cheese frosting, it made me want a slice of red velvet cake right now. I'm craving a piece of red velvet cake, so maybe tomorrow I will go and make a red velvet cake. It's too late right now to do that because I'm hosting this video anyway, but red velvet cake is one of my personal favorite desserts, and that video is the exact way that I personally make my homemade red velvet cake. Now, a lot of people who have never had red velvet cake before, they automatically think that red velvet is just chocolate cake that is dyed red. That's not necessarily true. Red velvet cake generally is half vanilla and half chocolate with a little bit of chocolate flavor. And that chocolate flavor is from like a tablespoon of cocoa powder. So this is a really good cake, and that video was awesome. So I really enjoyed that video, and that was a great red velvet cake recipe video. That person did a great job making red velvet cake. All right, what's my next video? So let's go ahead and play up that second video that I'm ready to react to. Wow, another favorite of mine, Oreo Cheesecake. You know, growing up, Oreos was one of my all-time favorite snack foods. Every time I came home from school, I always ate an Oreo cookie or two. Now, I remember very fondly, like back when I was in maybe fourth, fifth, sixth, or seventh grade, Oreo came out with a brand new cookie called Uh-Oh Oreos. It had a golden Oreo and a chocolate Oreo with the same vanilla filling, and that was really, really good. Um, but they don't have that anymore. Today we just have golden Oreos, which are actually my favorite Oreos, but I also love the classic Oreos as well. Now, I did not learn about cheesecakes until I was in high school. In my high school, I did culinary arts, and how I learned about cheesecakes was I actually made my very first cheesecake. And the very first cheesecake I made, believe it or not, was Oreo cheesecake, and I called it a cookies and cream cheesecake. So, getting back to my reaction, that cheesecake looks really good, nice and Oreo y, and I definitely would eat that. I do think that adding flour to a cheesecake is a little bit unorthodox. I've never added flour to my personal cheesecakes, but I'm interested in how flour cooperates with baking a cheesecake. Maybe it does help, but I'll have to research that at another time. Now, I also think that adding a white chocolate layer is a good idea if you're looking to make this a rich dessert. However, I am a simple kind of guy. I would just eat the Oreo cheesecake as it is, but if you're a fancy pastry chef, then by all means go ahead and make the white chocolate ganache and top the Oreo cheesecake with that. I, however, am all for topping it with homemade whipped cream. That is delicious. I loved homemade whipped cream, and I love Oreo cheesecake. So that was an amazing video. So I have to give my friends credit for this week's reaction video. Two amazing videos so far. Now, if you guys remember on my Italian cooking video, we started off bad with the countertop pasta and a couple of other videos that got me frazzled and angry. But so far in this video, we're starting off with a bang. We're starting off with some banger baking videos. So hopefully you are enjoying them. All right, now this is the cue to my cameraman to play our third video for my third reaction.
You like bread pudding? Here's how to make a classic New Orleans bread pudding with bourbon sauce. To get started, soak 1 cup of raisins for an hour or two in a 1/4 cup of bourbon whiskey. Take 1 loaf of rustic French bread that is at least a day or two old and cut it into 1-inch cubes. We are using slightly stale bread because we want the bread to be a little dry. That way it will hold up better when you soak it in milk in the next step. Pour 1 quart of milk into a large bowl. Add the bread and press it into the milk with your hands so that it gets completely soaked with the milk. In a separate bowl, beat 3 large eggs. Add 2 cups of sugar, 1/4 teaspoon of ground allspice, and a 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon. Whisk until smooth, then whisk in 2 tablespoons of vanilla extract. Pour the egg mixture over the cubed bread that has been soaking in milk. Add the bourbon-soaked raisins and gently stir to combine, taking care to not break up the cubes of bread. Spread 3 tablespoons of melted butter around the bottom and sides of a 9 by 13-inch baking pan. Pour the bread, milk, and egg mixture into the baking pan. Spread out the mixture in the pan so that it is level. Bake at 350 degrees for 35 to 45 minutes until the egg mixture has set. While the bread pudding is baking, make the bourbon sauce. Melt a 1/2 cup of butter in a medium saucepan on low heat. Add 1 cup of sugar, 1 egg, and whisk to combine. Slowly cook over low to medium-low heat, stirring constantly until the mixture thickens enough to thickly coat the back of a spoon. Whisk in half a cup of bourbon whiskey. You can use less or more depending on how strong you want the sauce to be. When the bread pudding is ready, remove it from the oven and drizzle it with the bourbon sauce to serve.
Wow, bread pudding, a classic American dessert, and one that I did not know about until I went to culinary school and did my baking program. Now, bread pudding is absolutely delicious. I love it, and that sauce in that video looks good. The only thing I would question in that video is why not just combine the milk with the egg mixture to make a custard and then combine that with the bread. Other than that, that is a really good video. I recommend everything that lady did, and that bread pudding looks really, really delicious. Now, for bread pudding, you can omit the raisins if you're not a raisin fan. You could definitely use chocolate chips or other types of dried fruit, or even some pecans or almonds or chopped nuts. Bread pudding is a very versatile dessert, and you could also use many different types of sauces. If you're not a fan of whiskey sauce or bourbon sauce or anything like that, you could also make cream anglaise, which is like a vanilla custard sauce. So pretty much, bread pudding is a real versatile uh, dessert recipe, and it's really delicious. So that was a good video, and I really enjoyed watching her make a delicious bread pudding. And I cannot wait to have bread pudding, but I have to wait a few weeks to have a delicious bread pudding, and you'll find out why in a few minutes here in this video. All right, I think I'm ready for my fourth video, so bring it to me.
Hello and welcome back to In a Kitchen with Matt. I am your host, Matt Taylor. Today, I'm going to show you how to make chocolate chip cookies. Yummy. These chocolate chip cookies are soft, chewy, super yummy, really easy to make. Chocolate chip cookies are my favorite cookie to make and eat. What's your favorite cookie? Drop a comment down below and let me know. Let's get started. First, preheat the oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Then we start with 1 cup of softened butter, 1/2 cup of white granulated sugar, 1 cup of packed brown sugar. Okay, now using a hand mixer or stand mixer, let's cream this all together. Once it's creamed together, let's go ahead and scrape down the sides. At this point, we're going to add our eggs, 1 at a time. First large egg. Now let's add 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. Now we take 2.5 cups of all-purpose flour. We'll add 1 teaspoon of baking soda, 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And then we'll go ahead and use a whisk, or you can sift it together, and we'll just mix it all together. All right, now let's take our flour, and we are going to just add about 1/3 of it at a time. Mix. All right, add some more flour. And we want to scrape the sides as needed. Add more flour. And then before I add the rest of the flour, at this step is when I'm going to add 2 cups of chocolate chips. These are semi-sweet. You can use milk chocolate as well. This equals about 1 package here in the States. I'm going to mix those in. Okay, and now let's add the rest of our flour. And then one last scraping of the sides. All right, our cookie dough is done. And now what we're gonna do is we need to separate our beaters. And now time to clean off those beaters. And you can just use your spatula, come in here and push them out. All right, once our cookie dough is done, it's time to form our cookies. I'm using a cookie sheet with an artisan mat on top. This is a silicone baking mat. Really awesome. I love these silicone baking mats. They clean really easy. They last a long time. They help keep the cookies from getting burnt on the bottom. And if you want to pick a couple of these up, I'll put a link down below and where you can get them. Really awesome. I highly recommend them, especially for cookies. So what we do is we take a spoon or a ice cream scoop, and we take some cookie dough. It's about 2 tablespoons worth. And go ahead and just drop it on there, and you can form it a little bit with your hand if you want. Just like that, whatever size you want to make, okay? Big ones, little ones, whatever you want to make. About 1.5 inches apart. All right, and then you bake these in the oven at 350 degrees for 8 to 10 minutes, depending on the size of the cookie. If you make them bigger, bake them a little longer. Smaller, a little shorter, until the edges are just slightly brown. All right, so we cook them until the edges are slightly brown right there, and then you take them out of the oven and you let them sit on the cookie sheet for about 5 minutes to cool before transferring it to a cookie rack to cool the rest of the way. All right, I want to show you the bottom of this cookie. Look at that. Nice golden brown. Pretty awesome. All right.
All right, chocolate chip cookies, America's favorite homemade cookie. Can't go wrong with a classic American chocolate chip cookie. Now I've got to admit, those cookies look pretty damn awesome. And now I'm craving a chocolate chip cookie. So me being the sweet tooth lover and the dessert and pastry lover, probably not a good idea to do this video kind of hungry, considering I just got out of work and I'm in the mood for some sweets. Anyways, those cookies he made look very delicious. He made them in the same steps that I do. The method he used to make those chocolate chip cookies is called the creaming method, which basically you cream together your butter and sugar, or your fat and sugar, and then you add your eggs and other liquids, and then of course you fold in your dry ingredients. Pretty basic method to make drop cookies, which chocolate chip cookies are. So I really don't have anything other to say about that video other than those cookies look phenomenal and they definitely look delicious. And a little tip for anyone that wants to make chocolate chip cookies: if you want really soft and chewy chocolate chip cookies, make sure to leave your butter out at room temperature for at least 2 hours in advance before baking chocolate chip cookies, because chocolate chip cookies 9 times out of 10 call for softened butter, and you cannot get softened butter by just taking it out of the fridge a half hour before baking. It would have to be at least a few hours before baking. All right, having said that, let's move on to my 5th video. So, cameraman or studio man, would you please do the honors of playing our 5th video? peanut butter blondies, another real simple dessert to make. Those look absolutely easy to make and they look absolutely delicious. Now, I have never had a peanut butter blondie before, but they look really good. The only blondies that I've eaten before are chocolate chip and M&M. So as a matter of fact, after watching this video, I'm going to go make these this weekend. So hopefully you will do the same as well. I love peanut butter cookies, so I can imagine a peanut butter blondie is similar to a peanut butter cookie. Just a peanut butter blondie is like a mixture of a cake and a cookie. So if you don't know what a blondie is, basically it's a cookie bar. So it's going to be similar to a brownie. However, it'll be like a cake cookie consistency. So really, really good video there. I'm glad I was able to get that one played on my reaction video today. Okay, so since we're more than the halfway point, I would like to welcome any new viewers to our live stream today. And any new viewers, you're more than welcome to share your thoughts in the comments below on the baking videos shown in today's video. Will you agree or disagree with my reactions? And also, what is your reactions to the baking videos that are shown on today's video? Make sure to share your reaction in the comments as well. And if you are just tuning in right now, make sure to stay tuned all the way to the end of the video for a very special major announcement about my Chef Alex return to the kitchen live right here on Facebook and my YouTube channel, made by me, Chef Alex Cardinale. I'll be telling you when and where I'll be returning to the kitchen, and that will be my major announcement that I'm going to share with you at the end of this video. So make sure you stay tuned for that. All right, so we've got a couple more videos to react to. So now let's get right back into it and get into our sixth baking video that I'm going to react to. So cameraman, if you would play our sixth video, please.
Want to learn how to make an ice cream cake with lots of crunchies? I've got a recipe that's about a third of the price and it's easy to make. All you need is a quart and a half of vanilla ice cream or whatever ice cream. All we're going to do is peel down the sides of the carton and make big slices and form it into an 8-inch round cake pan that's been lined with plastic wrap. Get ready, your hands are going to get a little bit cold, but this is way easier than having to put it in a mixer to soften your ice cream and all that. We're just going to form it to the shape of the pan. All right, so once you've formed it in, just close the plastic wrap over. Then you're going to want to pop this in the freezer for at least an hour, just so it gets nice and firm, and then we'll build our cake. Of course, I'm going to start with a box cake mix because it's not about the cake, it's about the ice cream. No special tricks here, just follow the recipe on the box. I'm gonna pour this into an 8-inch round cake pan. This box mix will actually make 2 round cakes, so you can use one for this recipe and freeze one for one down the road. It's just that easy. All right, my cake is out of the oven. Gonna let that cool while we work on the crunchies. I think you're either team Baskin-Robbins, which is like cake and ice cream, or team Carvel, which is like just ice cream and crunchies. I think why not have both? So that's what we'll do. I had no idea the secret to the crunchies are just 2 ingredients: Oreo cookies and magic shell. Genius. You just want to coarsely chop your Oreos. You can do this just pounding them in a plastic bag or just chop them with a knife, and then you stir in a whole bottle of magic shell. So it's about 1 bottle of magic shell to 2 cups of the cookie crumbs. The magic happens when this mixture gets cold, because we know what happens when magic shell touches ice cream. It hardens, hence the word crunchies. Time to build. I've got my cake layer that has completely cooled, and I turned it upside down on a cardboard round, and we're just gonna put our crunchies on top of that. You wanna spread these out, but don't go quite all the way to the edge. Now time for the ice cream layer. All right, we're going to take it out of our pan. Now we have a perfect ice cream layer And it's okay that it's not perfectly smooth on one side. It is on the other. So we're gonna turn that side down and have your smooth side on top. I mean, come on, y'all. You didn't think it was gonna be this easy. We're gonna pop this back in the freezer for about an hour and we're gonna make that delicious frosting. And it's not actually frosting, it's just a yummy sweetened whipped cream. It's just a pint of heavy cream and about 2 cups of powdered sugar. You're gonna go pretty thick, a little bit thicker than you would if you were just whipping cream to top on a dessert. Nice and sturdy. It's the perfect frosting. All right, here we go. Right onto our frozen cake. The hardest thing about making this cake is the waiting because, you know, the in and out of the freezer, but it's worth it. Now, you know what makes these cakes iconic is that like ridge pattern around the outside. So we're going to create that with just a serrated knife and we're just going to run it along the side. If you had a turntable, then you could use that here, but I don't, so I won't. It's not perfect, but I'm going to add sprinkles later and I can cover up my mistakes because that's what I do, cover up my mistakes with sprinkles. All right, so if you wanted to serve this on the same day, just freeze it for at least another hour, but this is really best, in my opinion, if you can make it the day before and let it freeze overnight, you're good to go. Time for the finishing touches. For my finishing touches, you could just leave it like this. You could pipe on a little more of that whipped cream frosting, or you can do what I did, which is buy a can of plain white frosting and color it whatever color you want.
It has to match your shirt.
Has to match my shirt. Now I'm just gonna add some sprinkles around the edges and we're good to go. That is cute. Nailed it, nailed it. Nailed the ice cream cake. Okay, it's all finished and I don't know that I've been this proud of something I've made in a long time. Let's cut into it, shall we? Here's a tip. Get your knife hot with some hot water before slicing into it so that it'll just cut right down. Oh, I mean, look at this. Perfection. All 3 layers, all 4 delicious components. The cake, the crunchies, the ice cream, the frosting. This is the perfect bite all in one slice. You know what time it is. It's like the best part of cookies and cream ice cream mixed with the right amount of whipped cream and cake. Perfect ratio. This is just good, y'all. It's just good. And don't forget, it costs way less than buying that store-bought version. And I'm gonna say it's better because you really can't find an ice cream cake that has all the right components. When it comes to ice cream cake at home, you can cook that.
Wow, I did not know that making homemade ice cream cakes is pretty simple. You know, I've never made a homemade ice cream cake, and after watching this video with you guys, I'm now tempted to make a homemade ice cream cake. So that is something in the future that I am definitely going to make. That looked absolutely delicious, and I'm not particularly a chocolate cake lover. However, I would eat that with chocolate cake. So if you are going to make a homemade ice cream cake, make sure you're using a cake recipe that calls for oil because your cake won't harden or dry out as it sits in the freezer. Cakes that are made with butter, like golden cakes or vanilla cakes, they will dry out and harden and become like a rock in the freezer. Just a little friendly advice for anyone that wants to do a homemade cake instead of the cake mixes cake for ice cream cake. Now, this is also a very versatile recipe. You could also substitute different types of ice cream. I would do a cookies and cream ice cream. I think that would be a great idea. You could also do mint chocolate chip ice cream. Chocolate cake with mint chocolate chip ice cream would be good. You could also do vanilla ice cream. So pretty much any ice cream you like would be a good idea, or even cookie dough ice cream with a chocolate cake would be good as well. So that was a good baking video. I learned how to make an easy homemade ice cream cake at home, and I learned how to save money instead of paying a lot of money for the ice cream cakes that you get at the store. All right, let's move on to our 7th video. This one is going to be a good one. And let's just get right to it.
Hey guys, it's Lainey here. Happy 2017. Today I'm going to be sharing with you how to make brownies. So let's begin. In a large bowl, you're going to add half a cup of butter, pop it in the microwave, you're going to melt it, then you're going to add the half a cup of granulated sugar and mix it until it's well combined. Now guys, if you haven't subscribed already, please do so you can get all of my latest recipes. Also hit that bell so you will be notified as soon as I upload a video. So back to the recipe, add 2 eggs and you're going to mix until the eggs are well combined into the batter. Then add the vanilla extract and continue mixing until everything is well combined. So you guys know me by now, I love simple, easy recipes, and that's what this recipe is all about. You can just use one bowl and that's it. So once you're done mixing all the wet ingredients, you're going to add the dry ingredients. So first you're going to add the unsweetened cocoa powder, the all-purpose flour, the salt, and the baking powder, and you're going to continue mixing it until it's well combined. So while I'm mixing this, I asked a question in my last video, what should I call you guys? And someone said Simply Bakers, another one said cookies or chocolate chips. So let me know in the comments if you want to be called Simply Bakers, cookies, or chocolate chips. Because I'm leaning towards Simply Bakers. I think that's just so cute. I love that. So back to the recipe. In an 8 by 8 inch pan, you're going to generously oil it and then you're going to add the brownie batter. Make sure to scrape everything in the bowl. Then you're going to pop it into the oven at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for about 25 to 30 minutes. You don't want to overbake the brownies because who likes overbaked brownies? You want perfect brownies, and if you just bake it between 25 to 30 minutes, it will be just right. So anyway, I allowed it to sit for about 10 minutes to cool down, and then I cut myself a piece because who can resist hot, warm, newly baked brownies? I know I can't. I actually love eating it with ice cream, but I didn't have any at hand today, or at least when I made these. Also, I forgot to mention earlier, when I added the sugar, I only added half a cup, which is not too sweet. If you want your brownies to be much sweeter, like very, very sweet, add 1 cup. I think half a cup for this recipe is just right. These brownies were so chewy. Even the next day, they were still very chewy. Just keep it out because it's not very hot here anyway, so you don't need to pop it in the refrigerator. And, so addicting. I love brownies. I try not to indulge it too much, but so addicting, especially with ice cream. So thank you guys so much for watching. Please don't forget to like it and share it with your friends who love brownies. Also, I know that you guys saw all Christmas stuff in the background. I know it's not.
Awesome video. Just make sure for my next reaction video, we edit out some of the other stuff that was in there. But for the reaction part, those brownies are awesome looking, and it just goes to show you how easy homemade brownies are to make. Pretty much the same thing as making chocolate chip cookies, except you're using cocoa powder and you're making bars instead of cookies. Homemade brownies are relatively simple to make, as that video showed, and you could also add some extra stuff inside your brownies, like chocolate chips, candy pieces, etc., or even walnuts or almonds. So I will admit I do like the Duncan Hines brownie mixes when I want to keep things simple, but I also do like making homemade brownies, and homemade brownies are relatively simple to make, as that video showed. Those brownies looked nice and chewy and delicious. Okay, let's get to our final video, and then I will share the news that all of you are hopefully excited to hear. Strawberry cheesecake, one of my personal favorite fruity desserts. I love strawberry cheesecake, and that was an amazing video. Now, I am a simple man, so if you're like me, then you could take the easy way out and just buy store-made or pre-packaged pie crust. Some of them are great, like the graham cracker ones they sell. Keebler has them. I really recommend those. Or you can make your own. Sometimes I do make my own pie crust if I feel that adventurous that day. But there's nothing wrong with using a store-bought pie crust. Now, the strawberry sauce that person made, that looks friggin' fantastic. A homemade strawberry sauce I've never done before. I'm going to admit that. I usually just buy the Duncan Hines strawberry pie filling and use that on my cheesecakes. So I am going to definitely make that sauce. Just adding frozen strawberries to a food processor along with cornstarch is simple enough. And then putting that onto the stove with sugar and then eventually some more frozen strawberries. That looks simple enough. So really good recipe. I like it. That's how I make my cheesecake, except I don't use sour cream. So I really do like that recipe, and it looks phenomenal. So thank you to my friends for picking out 8 amazing baking videos. I love them all, and now I'm pretty much hungry at the end of this video. I'm craving some sweets. So maybe tomorrow I'll bake something or head to the bakery. I don't know. But once again, thank you guys for picking out 8 amazing videos. This is only part 1 of my reacting to other people's baking. I think next Friday I'll do part 2. So guys, get ready to pick out some more awesome baking videos because I want to do this again next Friday. All right. Now we've reached the end of the video. You guys know what time it is. What time is it? Well, it's breaking news time. Announcement time. Are you ready to handle the heat? From who? Me, Chef Alex Cardinale. I'm going to share the special announcement right after this. Alrighty, now it's the fun part of the show, the part of the show that I've been waiting to tell you about. I, Chef Alex, am returning to the kitchen and I will be filming live cooking and baking videos on my personal Facebook page and my YouTube channel, the legendary Alex Cardinale. Now, I'm going to start filming in my personal kitchen at my house, and then eventually I would like to maybe work in a professional kitchen if I can, like maybe rent a kitchen for a video, but we're talking about in the future we'll do that. You guys know that I have done cooking videos in the past. I've done some with my friend Paul, and they've been very successful. And even before that, I did cooking videos. I don't remember the website that I did them on. It was a website that is similar to StreamYard. However, people had to sign up for that website to watch them. So those videos never got popular. They never got many views. And I think they went down with the ship. That site eventually crashed, and I lost those cooking videos. However, now I have a big fan base. I have a lot of loyal viewers, and I have a big YouTube channel. So now I think I will be very successful in doing live cooking and baking videos. I am very much looking forward to it. I'm going to share some of my best recipes. I'm going to cook some things for the very first time, and I'm going to do it on camera. So I might look like a genius, or I might look like a complete fool and a complete idiot and a complete stunad. But if I do, it's on camera, and I'll look like that in front of all of you guys. But I'm pretty confident that I am great in the kitchen, so I think I will do a fantastic job. So I'm going to start doing live cooking and baking videos in September. I can't wait until September to do those awesome cooking and baking videos. So you're probably wondering, what is the first thing I am going to make? Well, my first live baking video will be Texas Roadhouse bread pudding made with Texas Roadhouse dinner rolls, and I'll also use our special honey cinnamon butter. Now, if you've ever dined at a Texas Roadhouse, you know we're famous for our delicious, our soft, our fresh baked bread and our ice cold honey cinnamon butter that goes great as it melts on top of the warm, fresh baked bread. Now, imagine putting those two together in a delicious, sweet bread pudding. Now, I'm going to top the Texas Roadhouse bread pudding with a very delicious, easy, simple creme anglaise. And you're going to be surprised at how simple and how easy this creme anglaise is to make. You're going to say, that vanilla sauce is that simple. Why haven't I thought of that before? So it's a trick that I learned from a very famous chef on television, and I use it to make vanilla sauces for a wide variety of different desserts. So I look forward to showing you how to make Texas Roadhouse bread pudding with our delicious Texas Roadhouse dinner rolls and honey cinnamon butter, and of course my creme anglaise sauce. So in case you're wondering why I'm wearing a Texas Roadhouse shirt, I just so happen to work there. But no, I am not being paid to promote our fresh baked bread or even do the bread pudding video. I just chose that idea for my first live baking video because I thought it would be something that is different, unorthodox, and hopefully get a lot of views. So my first baking video, the Texas Roadhouse bread pudding made with Texas Roadhouse dinner rolls and honey cinnamon butter, will be taking place Thursday, September 16th, 2021, live at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And for those of you in California and in Pacific Standard Time, it will be taking place 6 p.m. Pacific. It will be live right here on Facebook, my personal Facebook, Alex Cardinale, and of course live on YouTube, my YouTube channel, the legendary Alex Cardinale. And of course, if you cannot tune in live on September 16th, you can catch it any day after that, as it will be available for replay. So then after I do the Texas Roadhouse bread pudding video, I'm going to show you how to make another delicious bread pudding, except this time we'll be making a glazed donut bread pudding. That'll be the Thursday after that. So my first live cooking video, entree video, will be homemade meatballs. The following Thursday after we do our Texas Roadhouse bread pudding and our glazed donut bread pudding. So my third live food video, my first cooking video, will be on homemade meatballs. So I look forward to that as well. And last but not least, my final announcement for today's video. I am bringing back Q&A with Chef Alex on September 25th. So if you have any cooking or baking or food questions, exactly 1 month from now, I will be answering them. I will be answering your cooking, baking, and food questions live September 25th, 2021 at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. So make sure you film a video asking cooking or baking questions, and then simply email it to the email shown at the screen right now, which is alexgoyankeescardinale19 at gmail.com, or just email me your text questions. So I'll be answering your questions on September 25th. All right, folks, that is our video for today. I hope you enjoyed my reaction to those wonderful baking videos, and I hope you enjoyed my major announcement, and you look forward to seeing me cook and bake live in person. So I want to thank you guys for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Like always, share this video with your friends and family so that they too can enjoy it. And make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel, the legendary Alex Cardinale, for all my other wonderful live streams. Aqua Alex Live for all my fish keepers out there. Storytime with Alex Cardinale, which is my talk show, my WWE pro wrestling shows, and of course, my cooking shows. With that being said, thank you for taking the time to spend your Friday evening with me, and have a great weekend. Goodbye, everybody. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Chef Alex out of here. Peace out, my brothers.